John Cena returned to the Blue Brand tonight to hype his final match against Randy Orton tomorrow night. The WWE Women's Championship was also a prime focus tonight as Nia Jax faced Jade Cargill to see who would get the next shot at Tiffany Stratton. We also saw a big tag team match with Damian Priest teaming with LA Knight to take on Solo Sikoa and the United States Heavyweight Champion Jacob Fatu. Let's take a look at everything that happened on tonight's SmackDown, for this is the Cerebral Smack Talk. Hey there, welcome everybody to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk here tonight on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streaming.com. Don't adjust your audio. I am indeed Anthony Florio, your host tonight, sitting in tonight for good old MF Michael Fletcher. Unfortunately, good old MF Michael Fletcher will not be joining us this evening due to work commitments beyond his control. We will hopefully have him back with us tomorrow night for the Backlash recap show. So for tonight, I am joined by the Phenom, Michael Bullock, coming off of a very abbreviated SmackDown chat this evening. And, since MF is not here, what I am going to do is I am going to bypass the Impact portion of the show. The TNA Impact. Usually MF and I do that, but since MF is not here, I'm going to bypass that for tonight. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into Friday Night SmackDown, the go-home show for Backlash, and we will also have a preview of the Backlash pay-per-view coming up tomorrow night. So with that, let's dive on into Friday Night SmackDown, live from the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio, which was the arena that hosted the inaugural King of the Ring pay-per-view back in 1993. And we started things off. It's not often we get this. It actually started with a tag team match. Usually we get an elongated promo segment, but we had ourselves a tag team match, and it was the big tag team match. LA Knight and Damian Priest squaring off against Solo Sikoa and the United States Heavyweight Champion Jacob Fatu. And the winners of the match in 10 minutes and 57 seconds, it was LA Knight and Damian Priest. LA Knight with the BFT on Solo Sikoa for the win. I'll give this about 3.25. The key story in all of this was LA Knight and Damian Priest. They could not coexist. They were an odd couple pairing that didn't get along, and they did a good job playing up the tension as the match progressed. This was a decent match that followed a familiar pattern, ending it with Drew McIntyre hitting Jacob Fatu with a Claymore out of nowhere, added a little fun at the end. The backstage interaction with Damian Priest and LA Knight seemed off. It might have been improv because it made no sense for what Priest said to make Knight question him. It was weird how Knight just watched Sikoa attack Priest but didn't try to do anything to help him. It's too bad that Solo Sikoa has lost some of his mystique. He went from being a lock to win a world title to almost playing second fiddle to Jacob Fatu. His character will recover, but how long it takes is the question. And Damian Priest hit a forearm to Sikoa that looked stiffer than he intended it to be, but Sikoa seemed fine. So, decent match. I'm going to give it about 3.25 for the effort. So, not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, come on in. LA Knight, Damian Priest, defeating Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu to open the show tonight. 10 minutes and 57 seconds.
3.25 is my rating for this match. I thought it was a good, solid match to start it off. Like you saw, LA Knight and Damian Priest couldn't get along because these are the same two, or they're going to be fighting to become the United States champion come tomorrow night. So obviously there was going to be some dissension, and that's what we got here. So yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to add on to it. So let's move on to our next match or whatever it is.
It's a match here. What happened was there was a quote unquote earlier today backstage moment. Well, actually, it was in Nick Aldis's office. Chelsea Green was holding a memorial service for her women's United States title reign when general manager Nick Aldis and the women's United States champion Zelina Vega walked in. And this led to Nick Aldis booking Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega and a partner of her choosing in a tag team match. Now, going into this, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that the mystery partner was going to be either Michin or B-Fab. That's who I was thinking. But it was neither of them. I can't remember the last time we saw her. I want to say maybe it was the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. But for the first time since maybe then, we got the return of the goddess. 5 feet of fury, Little Miss Bliss herself, Alexa Bliss, turned out to be the tag team partner, the mystery partner of for Zelina Vega. So it was Chelsea Green and Piper Niven squaring off against the women's United States champions Zelina Vega and Alexa Bliss. And the winners of the match, 8 minutes and 40 seconds, Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega. Alexa Bliss hitting her Twisted Bliss to win the match. So Michael Bullock, Alexa Bliss is back. Her and Zelina Vega defeating Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Your thoughts?
2.5 stars is my rating. I mean, it was good to see Alexa Bliss back after a couple of months. Here's the thing. I mean, that people need to realize. I mean, I know some people are like, well, she needs to be used more often. Well, let's not forget, Florio. She's a mom now, and maybe they're trying to balance her time between WWE and of course with being able to spend some time with her child. So it's not easy, but I'm sure WWE is going to try to find a way to keep her involved. So yeah. So there's really nothing more for me to say. It's about a 2.5 star match, but definitely good to see Alexa Bliss back. So it's yours, for you.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. Zelina Vega's partner ended up being Alexa Bliss, who got a nice pop from the crowd when she made her entrance. The majority of what we saw in this match was good, but there were enough awkward and mistimed moments to keep it from being as good as it should have been when you consider the level of talent involved. Chelsea Green remains the funniest person in WWE. It's effortless with her. And during their entrance, Alexa Bliss did a subtle look at the title around Vega's waist. So who knows? Maybe they could be building a future women's U.S. program with Zelina Vega and Alexa Bliss down the line. Maybe, I don't know, but a solid 2.5 star, maybe 2 3/4 at best. So great to see Alexa Bliss back. She was missed sorely, and I was not expecting to see her tonight. I was honestly, like I said, I was expecting it to be either Michin or B-Fab as the.
Well, there were some
partner.
dirt sheets, Florio, that she was backstage at SmackDown.
Well, I didn't get a chance to see those dirt sheets, so in a way, I was legit surprised. Maybe everybody else saw it coming, but I didn't, because I didn't really go on any dirt sheet sites today. But color me surprised for this one. So, but anyways, 2.5 stars, and Alexa Bliss back. That definitely is a shot in the arm for the women's division. No question about that. For the first time since losing to Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair. We saw this was the first appearance of the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair came to the ring after we returned from a commercial break to give a promo. She said she was going to get back to the WWE Women's Championship before berating the crowd for disrespecting her. She was about to storm off when Jade Cargill made her entrance. Jade Cargill grabbed the mic and told the Queen to get to the back of the line. And then after that break, Nia Jax came out, and that led into our next match, which was the number 1 contenders match for the WWE Women's Championship. Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. Winner of the match in 10 minutes and 17 seconds. It was Nia Jax. Nia Jax wins the match, and she didn't do it by herself. She had help. Unintentional help, but it was help nonetheless. It was Naomi. Naomi took out Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton was not necessarily on commentary, but she was sitting near the commentary table where and then Naomi laid her out, and Jade Cargill got distracted by that, and that opened the door for Nia, and Nia got the wins. So all right, this was two of WWE's strongest women competing in a singles match, so there was some pressure on them to make it feel big. This was never going to be a technical showcase of high flying bout. This was two powerhouses going at it, so they needed to play to their strengths, both literally and figuratively. While this match had a couple of cool moments that showed Jade Cargill's power, that wasn't enough to make it memorable. It was slower in some places than it should have been, but the second half definitely picked up. Charlotte ran into Alexa Bliss backstage, but it's unclear what Alexa Bliss wanted to talk about. So we shall see what happens there. So this was about 3, maybe 3.25. It's right around that 3 to 3.25 range for this one. And in a way, this outcome was expected, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, they obviously want to revisit the Nia Jax and Tiffany feud from earlier in the year. It's been done already. I was kind of hoping to see Jade Cargill get this win so we could have a fresher matchup, but apparently they I guess Papa H and the creative team want to see more of Nia and Tiffany for some odd reason. Not sure why, but we disagree with it. But, you know, it is what it is. So we'll see where it goes. That's all I'll say. Maybe Saturday night's main event. Maybe a future SmackDown. I don't know. We'll see. So, but anyways, solid 3 stars, teetering on 3.25 for me on this one. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, we don't like this outcome, but unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with it. Nia Jax defeating Jade Cargill, 10 minutes and 17 seconds. Nia Jax gets another shot at Tiffany Stratton in the WWE Women's Championship. We just don't know when. The earliest possible date I could see is maybe Saturday night's main event, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I even told you this, Florio. I think this to me is the wrong choice, because the thing is, we've seen Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax go at it. I thought they would have moved on from this, and for some odd reason, WWE wants to revisit it. Why? I don't know, but hopefully this is the final time they meet and they can move on to better things for Tiffany Stratton. And I think this would have been perfect for Jade Cargill to get her opportunity, but maybe they got something else planned. But I guess maybe she's not done, or Naomi's not done with her. Who knows? But what was the time again?
That was 10 minutes and 17 seconds.
I'll give this about 2.5 to 3 for the effort here. So, yeah, there's really nothing more. And of course, when it comes to that Charlotte promo, yeah, I mean, the crowd never gave her a chance to speak because they were just booing the living daylights out of her. And you want to know what their message of Florio is to Charlotte?
And what's that message?
Nobody gives 2 shits about you, Charlotte, because nobody cares about if you're going to go when it comes to the women's championship. You had your opportunity at at WrestleMania, and you failed. And like Jade Cargill said, you need to go to the back of the line, bitch.
Yes, she does.
And also, I think they're slowly but surely, I think, teasing a potential Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair match down the line.
Just like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss when they had that little moment earlier, too.
Well, when it comes to Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair, I think this has to happen at the 2-night SummerSlam.
I could see it.
I mean, it's too big of a match to happen on a B-level pay-per-view.
Agreed.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, it's got to be SummerSlam.
Definitely, I could see it. So, let's see what happens. All right, next up, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits. They came to the ring bandaged up after their brutal 5-star TLC match 2 weeks ago. They spoke for a bit before getting interrupted by Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom. They came out to ask for a title shot. General Manager Nick Aldis came out and booked a non-title match to see if Fraxium could hang with the champions. So here we go. Impromptu non-title match. The Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins versus Nathan Frazier and Fraxium. And the winners of the match in 15 minutes and 14 seconds, Fraxium. Fraxium gets the win. Michael Bullock, you know what that means. Championship committee moment.
Yes, it does mean a championship committee moment. What was the time again?
Time of the fall, once again, was 15 minutes and 14 seconds.
Oh, this is definitely the fight of the night, hands down. I mean, I'm going to give this 3.5, 3 3/4. I mean, yeah, big. I got to say, this is definitely the biggest win for Fraxium since they joined the main roster. And now, I mean, like you said, you pinned the champs, and I think this has definitely got to be a championship committee moment. So hopefully somewhere down the line, they get a shot at the title. So nothing more for me to say. It is yours, Florio.
Yes, indeed. With Ford and Dawkins doing so much to sell their injuries, this match was not as fast-paced as it usually would be. That being said, they still put on a great show with a lot of fun spots, especially for Fraxium. The good thing about the Street Profits purposely working slower than usual was that it allowed them to leave a lot of room to grow in future encounters between these two teams. The fact that this was still as good as it was is a testament to how great both teams are. After a fantastic back-and-forth bout, Fraxium scored the win and most definitely earned a future title shot in the process. Make sure you don't miss this one. If you missed this tonight, or anything, if you missed out on this and you're pressed for time, make sure you don't miss this match. Montez Ford had several little moments on the mic that were great. He is someone WWE needs to put front and center more often. And the way Angelo Dawkins sent Nathan Frazier out of the ring with a flying elbow was funny. But incredible match. 3.5, 3 3/4 of a star. You can make an argument for 4 if you wanted to. But 3.5, 3 3/4, definitely the fight of the night. I couldn't agree more. And with that, let's keep the action going. We had another matchup here. Aleister Black squaring off against Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes, of course, had the Miz in his corner. Aleister Black wins the match, 9 minutes and 54 seconds. 3-star match here. All right, so they quickly developed a lot of chemistry and put on a fun match that allowed both of them to shine. But the Miz accidentally cost Carmelo Hayes the match. He tried to distract Aleister Black, but Carmelo Hayes crashed into him. Aleister Black with the roll-up of doom for the win. He immediately took out Miz with Black Mass before exiting the ring and sitting in the aisle. The pairing of the Miz and Carmelo Hayes still has not clicked yet. And thank whatever deity you pray to that Aleister Black was able to keep his old entrance music. We love that. Oh, yeah. We love that. And the Miz did a good job of being animated at ringside without distracting from what was going on in the ring. A solid 3-star match. And No surprise about the outcome. We all knew Aleister Black was going to win this match. And so far, he's 2 for 2. He's 2 for 2 since since returning to WWE a couple of weeks ago. And I got a good feeling that he's going to be in for bigger and better things this time around. Now that he's under the Papa H regime and not under that previous administration, I think Aleister Black's going to get a lot more opportunities. And I can't wait to see what bigger and better things they have in store for him. So, solid 3 stars for this. Michael Bullock, Aleister Black defeating Carmelo Hayes in a time of 9 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah, 3 stars for me as well. I mean, I'll tell you, and I'm with you, Florio. I think bigger and better things are coming for Aleister Black now under the Triple H regime, because the other regime, well, didn't really do much of anything for him. So, but give it some time, folks. I mean, it's going to come for him eventually. If not before the end of the year, definitely sometime next year. So that's all I got to say on it. It's yours, Florio.
All right, we move on to another tag team match. That's the theme of the night. This is yet another tag match. Rey Fenix and Andrade squaring off against Los Garza, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo with Santos Escobar in their corner. And the winners of the match, in 10 minutes and 37 seconds, it was Andrade and Rey Fenix picking up the win. After the match was over, Santos Escobar got in Humberto Carrillo's face, and Humberto Carrillo was like, enough, I'm done. So there's definitely some dissension among the ranks in Legado del Fantasma. So not much more to add there. So Michael Bullock, come on back in here. Rey Fenix and Andrade defeating Los Garza in a time of 10 minutes and 37 seconds.
I'll give this about 3.25 stars here. I mean, yeah, definitely a nice win here for Rey Fenix and Andrade. But yeah, the big story is, of course, the falling out here with Legado. I mean, and especially Humberto. I mean, yeah, Santos Escobar basically was getting tough on Humberto, and Humberto was like, you know what? I'm done with this crap. So, I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see how this goes. I mean, I'm interested to see where they're going with this. So, nothing more for me to say. It's yours, Florio.
3.25 stars, teetering on 3.5. As expected, this was a fast-paced and entertaining match. All 4 of these guys are tremendous athletes, so they would have to try to have a bad match. Santos Escobar ripped into Berto for losing, and things got tense before Berto stormed off. And Angel just looked confused. Having Rey Fenix be in a tag match with someone other than Penta felt weird. And Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore on commentary talked about WWE acquiring AAA and said the spotlight on Lucha Libre has never been brighter. Time will tell on that. And the double acai moonsault spot was awesome. So 3.25, teetering on 3.5 for this. And now, let me just check and see if there's anything we actually know, because we have a pay-per-view. They went through the pay-per-view card, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. And now we go ahead with the final segment of the night. And honestly, I'm surprised they saved this for the main event spot and not for the opening spot, which has been the custom over the last several weeks. But we closed the show. When John Cena came out for the final segment, he got a lot more cheers than expected, but the crowd still sang John Cena sucks along with his music. Someone threw a beer bottle in the ring, and John Cena just shook his head and threw it away with a look of disgust.
Too bad, John. Too bad. If you don't like people throwing stuff at you after what you did, tough shit.
Yeet on that. John Cena spent the last 10 minutes of the show verbally trashing Randy Orton. He even insulted Randy Orton's father and grandfather and brought up a failed drug test from Randy Orton's past from 2006. This was a solid promo from John Cena that included a couple of lines that are going to be popular on social media. Someone in a hoodie and a mask tried to hit an RKO, and John Cena took him down, but it was all a ruse as the real Randy Orton showed up and hit another RKO out of nowhere on John Cena a moment later. By default, this was the segment of the night, and another scathing heel promo from John Cena, and went after Randy Orton, and I'm not at all surprised with how it ended. Randy Orton with another RKO out of nowhere, and I think we all know who wins this match tomorrow night, whether we like it or not. So a solid way to close out the show. So, Michael Bullock, let's get your thoughts on this final John Cena promo, and then you can lead off with the overall review for tonight.
Yeah, solid promo to close out the show, and yeah, I mean, John Cena continuing to verbally trash the WWE universe, saying that their dreams are gonna die. Your childhood is gonna die at Backlash, and bringing up Randy Orton's failures at the things that John Cena does with the whole hustle, loyalty, and respect, and basically taking a shot, Florio, at Orton's family, is saying, "Oh, Randy Orton Sr. was only good for knocking up Randy Orton's mom," and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's not cool." I mean, there's one thing that you and I know about, and that we need to send a message to you, John Cena. If you want to go after Randy Orton, that's one thing. But you go after his family like that, you don't think it's personal? Nah, it's personal. But what got really made it personal was when you brought up Randy Orton's 2006 drug failure. And here's another thing. What did Randy Orton say earlier to the crowd about Randy Orton?
Yeah,
He wasn't in the building.
He wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, you just proved yourself what a liar you are. And yeah, unfortunately, because of what Orton did tonight, I think it all is going to lead to John Cena retaining the title. But I'm going to go on the record of saying this, Florio. He ain't going to retain it cleanly, just like he won the title not so cleanly at WrestleMania. So with that being, so there's really nothing more for me to say. As far as my overall thoughts on the show, I thought it was a good show. I mean, could have been better in some spots. I would say so. So I would give this about maybe 7.5 out of 10. So Florio, you take it before we get into our preview of Backlash.
7.5 for me as well. Tonight's SmackDown was a bit of a mixed bag, but the good far outweighed the bad when it came to in-ring action. Andrade and Rey Fenix picked up a fun win over Los Garza, and Aleister Black put on a good show against Carmelo Hayes in what is almost guaranteed to be the first of many encounters. However, nothing on the show held a candle to the Street Profits versus Fraxium. Not only did they steal the show, but they did so while the Street Profits were intentionally holding back to sell injuries. The SmackDown Tag Team division has been one of the bright spots in WWE recently, and that does not appear to be changing anytime soon. If Fraxium can continue to perform at a high level like this, they are going to be very successful. Ending the show with John Cena's promo made sense. He did a good job hyping his match with Orton tomorrow night, but nothing he said was surprising. I'm actually going to be a little more generous on this. I'm actually going to give this about 7.5, teetering on 8 out of 10 for me. So, solid show here tonight. So with that, let's now get into our preview of WWE Backlash. WWE Backlash goes down tomorrow night from the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri, the home of the NHL St. Louis Blues. The event, which traditionally follows WrestleMania, is headlined by John Cena, who will be making the first defense of the undisputed WWE Championship he won from Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania 41 Night 2. John Cena will face Randy Orton in the main event, rekindling a rivalry that dates back to the late 2000s. Orton is looking to cut Cena's retirement tour short, while Cena has claimed he will leave professional wrestling later this year, still holding the title as the quote-unquote last real champion in WWE history. The card will also feature 3 more title matches, most notably a fatal 4-way for the United States Heavyweight Championship, when Jacob Fatu, who won the title at WrestleMania 41, defends against Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest. Jacob Fatu beat LA Knight for the title, and Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest have continued their blood feud beyond WrestleMania as well. Plus, Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria puts her title on the line against former friend turned rival Becky Lynch. The Man returned at WrestleMania to team with Valkyria, to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. But the night after, on Raw after Mania, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez regained the titles, and Becky Lynch turned on Lyra Valkyria, sparking an instant rivalry. With all the scheduled action, let's take a look at who we are picking for and predicting for all 5 matches at WWE Backlash. And we're going to go from bottom to top here. And we're going to start it off with the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship matchup. The champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, defending against Penta. This is yet another match where it wouldn't make sense. This is a match where it wouldn't take, where it wouldn't make, This is a match where it would not make sense to take a title off of a freshly crowned champion. Expect that to be a theme throughout this preview. The title is also a valuable tool for the ongoing story within Judgment Day. So unless Finn Balor costs Dominic the title, it seems this is a clear win for Dominic Mysterio. So winner and still Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you. The only way I see Dominic Mysterio losing the title is if Finn Balor gets involved, like thinking that he's going to help Dominic Mysterio retain, only for it to be the other way around where he cost him it. But unless that happens, there's only one obvious answer: Dominic Mysterio retains the title. But again, the only way I see the title changing hands is if Finn Balor tricks Dominic Mysterio and costs him the title. So we'll see. It's yours, Florio.
All right, Bullock, you lead off on the next match. The Ring General Gunther, one-on-one with Monday Night Raw announcer Pat McAfee. Your thoughts?
I think this is an easy one here. I got Gunther winning this one, and I don't know about you, Florio, but I got a bad feeling that it's going to be a beatdown. It's going to be a mauling, and it's not going to be for the weak of heart here. I mean, Pat's going to give all he can here, but this is not going to end pretty. So, I mean, especially after those chilling words of Gunther. So, Gunther wins, but this is going to be a match, Florio, that I think is going to be tough to watch.
Oh, definitely. Pat McAfee has done an admirable job with his mic work leading to this bout, but it's hard to feel like this is not a waste of Gunther's time. Gunther has spent so much time as a champion in WWE that it is strange to see him have any sort of time killer program. Having Pat McAfee get the win here would be an unbelievable misstep, since Gunther is coming off a loss to Jey Uso at WrestleMania. He needs to get a win and be kept strong so he can be placed into whatever top spot comes along. So I agree with you, Bullock. I've got the Ring General Gunther winning this match as well. And we move on to our next match. Fatal 4-way match for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Jacob Fatu, defending the title against the man he took it from at WrestleMania, LA Knight, and also defending against Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Jacob Fatu will be a cornerstone of this promotion for years to come. The Samoan Werewolf is magnetic on the mic and ferocious in the ring. Jacob Fatu is not losing the title so soon after winning it. The Fatal 4-Way is a great way to give him wins over major names without making the losers look weak. Another easy one here. Winner and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I got Jacob Fatu retaining the title as well. I mean, again, no sense of taking the title off him after he just won it, so nothing more to say. Let's move on to the next match.
For the Women's Intercontinental Championship, the champion, Lyra Valkyria, defending the title against the man, Becky Lynch. We've had some back and forths about this recently. Michael Bullock, who you got?
Yeah, we've had our back and forths on this one. Well, not just you and me, Florio, but Fletch as well. I think we're going to have some differing opinions on this match here. Now, for me, I'm going to say winner and still the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria, and both Fletch and I gave our reasons. Well, we'll just reiterate it. Number one, I think Bayley comes back and screws Becky over for what she did to her at before WrestleMania. And number two, the Women's Intercontinental title is below Becky's level. I mean, the thing is, it only should be the Women's World title, the Women's title, and when she has a partner, the Women's Tag Team title. Those are the only things for her. And I also brought this up to you, Florio. You brought up what happened Monday night when Lyra got the best of Becky, and you were saying booking 101, and it means that we're going to have a new champion. But again, sometimes the booking 101 doesn't happen that way. And like I said the other night, here's the perfect example. WrestleMania 30, well, prior to it, when it was The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. And what happened that night, Florio?
Brock Lesnar did the unthinkable.
Well,
he beat The Undertaker.
I'm talking about that Monday night, the final Raw before.
The final Monday Night Raw. We all know what happened. Brock Lesnar laid out The Undertaker with an F5, and we're thinking.
And what did we say that night?
Undertaker's going 22-0.
And what happened?
As I was saying, Brock Lesnar did the unthinkable. Brock Lesnar, with 3 F5s, defeated The Undertaker and made history as being the first man to ever beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He was the one in 21-1.
And that goes to show you sometimes, Florio, booking 101 doesn't happen.
That's true.
So I know you may have a different opinion on it, but that's just how I feel. The winner and still Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. It's yours, Florio.
Could happen, but I there's no question about it. When it comes to this card, I think this is without a doubt going to be the only match that we're going to have a differing opinion on. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch is a feud WWE can revisit for as long as Lynch is active. I believe, with all due respect, I believe the man should win this time. Having Becky Lynch as Women's Intercontinental Champion immediately elevates the title and expands her legacy. Lyra already has an NXT Women's title win over Becky Lynch. Losing tomorrow, I believe, is the first step to a bigger underdog story for Lyra Valkyria. And of course, let's also not forget what happened this past Monday night on Raw, when Lyra Valkyria stood tall over Becky Lynch. The only way I can see Lyra retaining the title is if Bayley shows up. and gets her revenge on Becky. It would have to happen during the match, not before, not after. It has to be during. That's the only way Lyra will successfully defend. That's a match we're going to be keeping a very close eye on. But for right now, with all due respect, I must say winner and new Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. Main event of the evening for the undisputed WWE Championship, the champion, John Cena, defending the title against Randy Orton, the Apex Predator and the Viper, the Legend Killer, the hometown boy, returning to his hometown of St. Louis tomorrow night. WWE ran the Cena versus Orton rivalry into the ground when the two men were in their primes. Now they meet again as two of the most accomplished men in wrestling history. It's interesting to see the pairing in 2025, but there is not much drama to be found in considering a winner. John Cena won the title at WrestleMania and is not going to drop the belt 1 month later on a hastily thrown together bout. It'll be interesting to see if their familiarity will lead to a better match than Cena was able to produce against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. But we all know who is getting the win tomorrow night, and especially after what we saw here tonight on SmackDown. Winner and still the undisputed WWE champion, like him or whether you like him or you don't, John Cena. Take us home, Bullock.
Yeah, John Cena retains, and I don't think he's going to retain it cleanly. He's going to. It could be some way, and how, I do not know. But either way, Cena's going to still be the champion. So let's put a bow on this, Florio.
All right, and with that will put the bow on this edition, on this special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in, as always. We will be back with you again tomorrow night. Hopefully, MF will be back with us tomorrow night, as we will have our recap of WWE Backlash. That's tomorrow. And then Tuesday night, we do it all over again, right back here on the Tone 25 for another edition of Ridiculously Raw, where we will review the Monday Night Raw fallout from Backlash. And we will also get into NXT as well. And then from there, Thursday night, one of our biggest shows of our TXN Sports World regulation shows, the 2025 TXN Sports World NFL schedule release special. The NFL schedule will be released this upcoming Wednesday night. The big special, of course, on the NFL Network and ESPN. And we will, and we're going to do with that like we always do. We're going to give you our must-see notable games for all 18 weeks of this upcoming NFL season. Very exciting, to say the very least. Cannot wait for that. And then 1 week from tonight, we'll do it all over again with the Cerebral Smack Talk. We'll hopefully have MF back with us. And should that be the case, we'll get into TNA Impact and we'll get into the SmackDown fallout from Backlash. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for our recap of Backlash, it's Anthony Florio here for the Phenom, Michael Bullock, and in spirit, good old MF, Michael Fletcher. And of course, always and forever, our first lady of Talking Wrestling TXN, the one and only Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Sunday, a blessed Saturday, rather. And until tomorrow night for our recap of Backlash, you've been watching this special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my friends, that when anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.